a river filled with cranky predators. This is the only source of deep water for miles. Severe drought has forced migration to this river, concentrating local predators with complete strangers. The wildlife here is on edge.
Is this him? Oh my God.
Water means both survival and death. It is a thread that binds them, and it's a reason I'm here. I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. Surrounded by water, in the middle of the worst drought that Florida has seen in years. This river is like a magnet for life and death struggles. And my crew and I are here to bear witness. Welcome to the jungle, my version of paradise. This year, paradise is in trouble. There's been a severe drought, and the availability of water affects all the wildlife. When water is abundant, the wildlife is spread out. Actually, it's a hard time to find wildlife because the entire Florida is underwater and the alligators are scattered, everything is spread out. But as the water dries up, especially in severe drought, all the wildlife will concentrate and move to the remaining water spots. In certain areas, you may have a little pond for miles and miles around, and every fish, every bird, every alligator, every deer is going to come there. Actually, it's a time when alligators fatten up because whatever alligator is in there, it's got an unlimited food supply. Now, in other areas, it gets so dry that they actually can die. An alligator may move up to 30 miles to find a water hole. The remaining rivers and lakes and all that, they have plenty of water. That's where a lot of the wildlife will be concentrated in. There's massive migrations. You have alligators that live in little ponds way out in the middle of nowhere. They have never seen a man before. No one has ever seen them before. They could be gigantic monsters. Incredible behaviors. It could be man-eaters. We do not even know. They show up at different places. They may pop up in your backyard, in any river. This massive movement out here, there's no telling what's going to happen out here. Keep in mind, there's a local alligator population, but now there are other alligators, strangers, that have come from way back in the woods where the water's dried up, and they come here looking for water. So deep in the Florida forest, there's no telling how many alligators are hiding out there. They got little tiny holes, little tiny ponds. There could be a 14-foot alligator living in it year after year. And when it's a severe drought, that'll bring them out of there into major rivers and major lakes. When wildlife is concentrated in an area, what do you have? Competition. Competition for food. What that means is more violent behavior, more likely for humans to be attacked if he enters the environment.
I've been coming up this river for about 20 years now, and never seen the drought as bad as it is. The water as low as it is now, and the concentration of alligators is about as high as I've ever seen. And I see a lot of new animals, a lot of bigger gators that I haven't seen before, which kind of makes me nervous because they can be quite dangerous.
We've been here in this river many times, but now the water's low. The alligator concentration, according to the chat, is very high. So entering this river now could be extremely dangerous. You may have alligators here who have never been in contact with humans. You don't know who they are or what their intentions are. My idea of the man-eater sometimes is an alligator you never see. He's very elusive. The fed alligator is a nuisance alligator that follows you around and is a nuisance. The man-eater, you don't even see him. He comes like a ghost, like lightning out of nowhere, and grabs you. Al Roberts, our most seasoned guide, spots an 8-foot alligator sunning himself on the riverbank. We got the 7 to 8-foot alligator over there, very healthy, northern gators. Apart from eating good, they're genetically stronger. They're built like Sherman tanks. I mean, they're tough. We're just gonna get in. I'm gonna go in here with Quet and just see what he does. I'm gonna approach him and see how shy he is and check out his personality. Some alligators, you just even blink at him at a mile away and he's underwater. Other alligators, you get right up on him, they're still there looking at you. You never know what he's gonna do. Alligators, in my opinion, 100% unpredictable. With the steady drone of insects filling our ears, we gear up for the first encounter. Is this alligator a local resident, or did the drought drive him to this river for survival? Surrounded by water, you would not think the predators in this river are affected by the severe drought Florida is experiencing. But two things happen during a drought. Predators and prey concentrate in smaller areas. The wildlife here can be ill-tempered. And the competition for food and survival becomes intense. Across this primitive river, a large alligator has hauled out to sun himself. And we are gearing up for an approach. Yeah, people wonder how I go into the water and don't get attacked by alligators and how I can do this. I have been attacked by alligators a bunch of times. I understand alligators. I don't act like food and they do attack me. I know how to defend myself against an attacking alligator. Usually I'll go underneath and levitate the alligator's head. I mean, don't try this at home, you know what I mean? I'm not telling you to go out and get attacked, but I know how to keep myself from being attacked. The one time I got bit, I got attacked from behind. I didn't see the alligator coming. He surprised me. Most of the times, like always, I've been able to stop a lot of attacking alligators. Now, the majority of the alligators will give you right away, but you have no idea what an alligator's gonna do. I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know him. He's not my pet or anything. I've never seen him before. He can run, he can hide, he can attack. I've seen him run out of the water onto land to get away. Anything other than just sit there and look at you. I've had him push up against me. I've been swimming around, all of a sudden there's an alligator up against me. I've had him push me underwater. Everything you can imagine that an alligator can do beyond your wildest dreams, an alligator can do. And he has the capability of jumping up this high out of the water. I mean, there's so many things he can do. And, you know, I go there with caution. I don't never run from an alligator. Don't ever run from an alligator. You know, don't act like prey. If I start running here like a panicked dog like that, next thing you know, an alligator's gonna grab me. You want to act like a predator out here, and you want to respect it. You don't want to act like food. As I make my way across the river, I will need to take a deep breath and swim underwater so the alligator doesn't spook. But I know he is watching my every move. As I close in, the alligator suddenly explodes into the water, thrashing violently as he makes his getaway. I leave the cloud of silt and follow him. Years of experience have taught me that he has not gone far. There he is, lying on the bottom. His head is so wide he looks like a toad. As I move in to lift him, he backs away and takes off again. I wonder if the drought is making all the alligators in this river even more cautious. We follow the alligator as he moves through the underwater jungle of weeds and branches that line the shore of this river. You can see how easy a large predator can attack without being seen, and then just disappear. People ask me, why do I swim with alligators? Why do I interact with alligators? Every time I get in with an alligator, I learn something. I've learned things about alligators that no one knew. I broke ground in their world of behavior. Also, I really enjoy interacting with alligators. It's an adventure. This is a learning process, and I adventure. It doesn't get any higher adventure than getting in the water with a formidable alligator, you know, something, a magnificent dinosaur. I'm swimming with them. That is, you know, an incredible adventure. I really enjoy that. You know, I'd rather be doing that than sitting around doing nothing. I mean, that is what I like to do. This Florida river seems like an underwater paradise, but looks can be misleading. A severe drought is concentrating both predators and prey, and the struggle for survival is very real. The local top predators have visitors that may have traveled miles to get here, and getting along is not a priority. Okay, right here there's a crack in that log, and there's a big old snake in there. I can barely see him. I know it's a snake. It's a water snake. I don't know if it's cottonmouth, which are plenty out here, or a big brown water snake. So I'm gonna look first, reach in there, and see if I can grab it. There's one big one right here. I'm gonna bite. I got a wetsuit on, so I'm not too worried about it. Look at that. Water snakes can be very, very angry. Yeah. Beautiful snake. Wow. Easy does it. Let me get him up through the lens. Right there. Wow. Look how fat he is. Or she is. Beautiful brown water snake. Actually, the cottonmouth water moccasins eat them. I was very lucky to find it in this crack right here, so I was able to pick it up and look at it. Most people, every snake they see in the water, near the water, it's a cottonmouth, right off the bat. But if you do pick one up thinking it's a water snake, you better know your snakes. You pick up a cottonmouth. See how vicious this guy was? A cottonmouth's a lot more vicious. Now, the one thing is that these are very aquatic. The cottonmouth floats. The brown water snake and the other water snakes dive underwater very quickly. And if you look at the head, you see the round eye and the nostrils? Right there. The cottonmouth is a hole between the nostrils and the eye, which makes him a pit viper, just like the rattlesnake. Now, this guy's got a round, perfectly round eye. The cottonmouth has a lid over the eye that gives the eye not so round of a look. It makes the snake look mean. The brown water snake can flatten its head out, but the cottonmouth has got a bulkier head, very wide. Through here, it's like this wide. It's massive. Well, this snake, see, it can flatten out like that. It'll flatten its head to make himself look like a water moccasin sometimes, giving it a triangular head. But look at right now, it's not very triangular. It's relaxed. But the cottonmouth cannot do that. The head is thick right here all the time. And he's got a mustache, too, on him. Now, the coloration, yeah, it can be very, very similar. Cottonmouth can be black, or he can have bands on him. You know, very similar. The skin is very identical to this guy, too. Very similar skin looking. So, and they live in the same environment. So you just got to pay attention. Yeah, the water moccasin is more buoyant than a water snake. Its body naturally floats more, and it's more of a surface swimmer. While the water snake, immediately, the only thing that sticks out of the water, it's his head. The water snake will only stick his head out like this and dive under real quick. Well, water moccasin will tend to swim and float on the surface, just like a rattlesnake would, or another pit viper. So it can dive under, but that is not as normal. It's too buoyant, actually. It has to force itself underwater. Well, this snake automatically disappears underwater. Okay, now watch how quick this brown water snake disappears in the water. Show you how aquatic this animal is. Notice the minute he hit the water, he dove under and went into cover, but he dove down deep. Instead of coming up and floating on the surface, if it would have been a cottonmouth, it would have took off on the surface like that. We continue to move upriver. We're seeing an abundance of wildlife and a higher than usual concentration of alligators brought together by the severe drought. There was another huge alligator there. You know, we're finding alligators again, all over the place. 6 footers, 8 footers. I haven't seen anything like 12 feet yet, but there's a lot of the 6 to 8 foot alligators, a lot of them out here. This one just exploded. He went under there. He may be laying right there. He might have disappeared somewhere in this immense area. I'm gonna go down and investigate, see if I can find him, because it looked like a really nice alligator, about 8 foot. I'm gonna see if I can find him. As I approach the pad where we last saw the alligator, the water becomes dark and forbidding. It is also deeper here. I will need a flashlight to penetrate the darkness beneath this heavy mat. I am startled to see the alligator. A 10-foot long tank, lying motionless on the bottom. This is a deadly animal. I am not sure how to approach it without endangering myself and my camera. The ideal situation if he comes out this way. I decide to get directly over him and guide him out by the shoulders. What a beautiful animal! I follow to make sure I don't lose him. He is sitting on the bottom again, and he motions towards me as if to say, "Back off, buddy." I will need to treat this alligator with the utmost respect. I wonder if he's here all year long, or wandered in from a deep forest.
He's right there. This time I'm going to try to go underneath him. I grabbed I got on his back, I turned him out like I intended and rode him right towards Cuete, and I tried to go up with him and he dove down. But I was literally riding him out like a horse out of that spot.
But that's very dangerous. You can swing back up. He remains motionless as I lift him. But then he takes me on a ride I will never forget. This alligator is built like a rhino, and it's much larger than I first thought. What an encounter!
Man, I did everything, man. I went this way. I thought I lost him. Took off this way. Took off that way. Took off that way. And finally, I was just breaking the surface with him. And I couldn't take him. He stopped. I thought he was going to try to bite me. He's sitting this way, this way. It was a long, long ways up, man. It's very deep right here. It was a major struggle. He is so fat, so healthy, man. What a perfect alligator. Wow. Man. It was incredible. I got it. First of all, it was very difficult. I thought it never happened. I went down there, I took him like this, I turned him around, aimed him out of the place, I rode him out of there, rode him right out of there, and then afterwards, I lost him, and then Quentin found him again. It was in a deep spot down there. I grabbed him, I came up with the alligator, all the way to the surface, he stopped, took off again, stopped, and I was like, I gotta get him up, and I was struggling everything I had. I thought he was gonna go this way, switching hands. Finally, I think his nose broke the surface again, right there, and that was it. And it disappeared. But the alligator was like, he looked like he was on steroids. I mean, fat, healthy alligator, white-faced, beautiful, man. Now, we don't get them like this in South Florida. Look at this heavy rain. This is the heaviest rain I've seen since the dry season. The water's going to be rising everywhere. The alligator's going to scatter. The fish, the wildlife, everything is going to be rearranged, let's put it this way. Whether it's pouring rain or bone dry, this is a savage wild, and I love it.